Matthew 12:25. And Yeshua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?
I can speak bold. It's like I got a cheat code. See it through the peephole. Farm we the people. Bold tongue heat codes. Trucking adversaries, more shine, call it beast mode. Never cut against the grain, that's the real G-code. Drive homes returning from the valley. Chapter 37, Ezekiel. Shout out to my peoples in the high places starting to speak bold. Welcome to the war, it's a tough one. We know forsake all, that's what he showed. In the end game mode, some losses can be painful, but you can't serve two masters on the same note. Stand manfully for your people's Maccabees mode.
1 Kings chapter 19 verse 14. And he said, I have been very zealous for the Lord thy God of hosts, because the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, and thrown down thy altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I alone am left, and they seek my life to take it away.
He said some will be martyred up. I'm standing in line like it's a charter bus. Tears growing amongst the weeds like they part of us. Mellow talk that talk. Nick walk that walk. You stand on your heritage. We the boss of boss. The shining brand that we know they try the Jackson, but we gon' get it back threefold. Hacks done while they never breathe again. Tony Braxton, we eject the trouble. This just a baby kick like a Braxton hit. Everybody talk about they clapping ish until the dollar gone. Then they gon' take the chip in the back of it. BLM activists.
So the hell with all the separation. We at the end time, family. We getting close. We need to gather ourselves together sooner than later. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. This is scripture. It's commanded that we gather together, especially in these end times as we see these other nations run by Satan coming together to come against us, the children of Israel. Rise, my people. Claw.
Khan, we give him blessings, honor, glory, and power, bidding him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. Maranatha, people out there. We is the children of the Most High God, man, and today we are going to be going into some historical aspects of our claims. So when you look, the lesson today is called the millennial reign has already been fulfilled in the Middle Ages. And we can see that during the Middle Ages, this millennial reign that people are talking about from the book of Revelations, that the Christians or the followers of Christ is going to actually reign on the earth for 1,000 years with Christ, and then the devil is going to be released back again, and then he's going to go about and doing his thing. Well, that's what people are misinterpreting with the scripture when they are actually trying to find that verse being fulfilled right now. That verse is not something that we are about to come into. That verse is something that we have been living in for the last, let's say, 500 years. So check this out. So to get down to the bottom of it, I'm going to share the screen. And we're going to look at the country of Europe during the Middle Ages. Now watch this. All right. We're going to look at this article, this study on realhistory.com. It's called Black Germany, History of the Black Holy Roman Empire. All right, Akmalak. I see Akmalak says he got to find his charger. He'll be on in a minute. All right. Shalom. Okay, all praises to the Most High. So we're going to study this, and we're going to actually go in. We're going to see not only an extensive information set of a body of evidence. It's going to be an extensive body of evidence with a lot of pictures of artifacts that is going to line up with this historical claims. All right, now check this out. It says the 476 date for the fall of Rome is conventionally accepted because that's when the Germanic Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor to rule the western part of the Roman Empire. Some say the split into an eastern and western empire governed by separate emperors caused Rome to fall. The eastern half became the Byzantine Empire, with its capital at Constantinople, modern Istanbul. But there's no doubt that the Western Roman Empire fell, and the widespread of the long-term social disarray and insecurity following the decline of the Roman Empire and the gradual affiliation of masses of people with military overlords who could protect them constitutes the big picture of medieval society in Europe. And we also know that the white tribes went hog wild conquering Roman territories even into North Africa. That left only Byzantium and Anatolia as the only check against the albinos marauding throughout Europe. But the problem was that even as the Byzantine emperors had to deal with the marauding albinos, they were also constantly at war with the resurgent Persian Sasanian kings who wanted to reclaim their former territories in Anatolia and Europe. The Sasanians were very powerful and had already captured a Roman emperor. All right, so these people right here that they're calling the albinos, these would be, as we would know today, as white Europeans. These were other white European tribes and small nations that were in conflict with the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? Just like you see today, the white man is always in a struggle for the dominant power. So they're always, you know what I mean, they got to always flex they dominant strength on a nation. And right now you see Russia doing that with the Ukrainians. So that's nothing new. That's what happens over there in Europe. White folks is genetically killers. All right. So we got a rock relief showing, so you know what was just going down that actually transpires and correlates with what we just read. All right. He says Valerian, Publius, Licinius, Valerianus, Augustus, from 193 to 260. Also known as Valerian the Elder, was Roman emperor for 253 to 260. He was taken captive by Persian king Shapur I after the Battle of Edessa, becoming the only Roman emperor who was captured as a prisoner of war, resulting in wide-range instability across the empire. All right, we got Julian the Apostate, Flavius Claudius Julian Augustus, also known as Julian the Philosopher, was Roman emperor from 361 to 363, and a noted philosopher and writer. All right, it says a Julian, cameo of Julian the Apostate, emperor 61 to 363, my bad. Julian attempted to prevent the drift of the empires. He attempted to prevent the drift of the empire towards Christianity. Hence, his name apostate. Biblio something national. That's the source. All right. Let me just. All right. Shalom, Akmalak.
Shalom.
All right. So these people right here, he's known for. This is what he's known for. As trying to push back against the Christianity movement that was arising in Europe. You know what I mean? Why do we see a Christianity rise in Europe? It's simple as this. Let's go right here. Because if you look at Paul's ministry, as you see, Paul was all throughout the European Empire. Paul's letters went through all out Rome and Europe. That's where everywhere that he could actually easily access that continent or that nation, all those places is where Paul was actually starting and sending his letters to. And these things, by the time we get to 150 to 200 years later, we see that this is a movement that is real, that is taken off so much that we have emperors now that is known and documented just for that specific reason of them pushing against this now movement that is springing from the letters of Paul, speaking about Christ. Hold on, excuse me. All right. This is a Roman emperor, Vitellius. The above are the only authentic images of Roman emperors available to the public. All the others are modern frauds. All right. That actually looks like a black man, if you really ask me. I think that actually is a black man. That is not really white characteristics. But that right there, there's a good explanation why we would see black rulers in a white tyrannical nation that actually had it out for the children of God. It's nothing different than what you see today as with the black cops. It's nothing different than what you see today as the black leaders in our neighborhood, which are the pastors or the gang members. These are all people that are highly accredited and highly esteemed in our nation, and even some of them are even highly esteemed in outside of the black paradigm. That these people are famous, promoted, you know what I mean, set up, highlighted. They got the spotlight on these people. That's because these people are the traitors. We got, don't think that it's something new for you to see a black man in position of a wicked nation. That's the whole reason why the children of the Most High God ended up in the positions that we in, is because of not only was the people corrupt, but the leadership was just as corrupt, if not worse. So we get to the Byzantine Empire. You see in the Byzantine Empire, it lines up perfectly with the same areas as Paul was sending his letters to and did his ministries. I'm trying to get a clearer picture, as we can see.
Looks like you lost him.
All right. So that the Byzantine Empire was the predominantly Greek-speaking continuation of the Roman Empire during late antiquity and the Middle Ages. Its capital city was Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, which was originally known as Byzantium. Initially, it was the eastern half of the Roman Empire. often called the Eastern Roman Empire. So let me get my pointer. Okay, Western Roman Empire, Eastern Roman Empire. Paul sold up all this. It says, he said it survived. He said it was often called the Eastern Roman Empire in this context. It survived the 5th century fragmentation and collapse of the Western Roman Empire and continued to thrive, existing for an additional 1,000 years until it fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. It says right here, as we see more black iconography. That's the word. We see black depictions on the coins. We see the black braids. We see the black features with the high cheekbones, wide nose, full lips, wide nose, full lips. This ain't how white folks look like. He said these coins were made in the Byzantine Empire from when? 1057 to 1059, and the first of the Komnenos dynasty. Then we have a 1071 to 1078 Byzantine Empire coin. Once again, Negroes. And what does this look like? That
breastplate of judgment.
Looks like a breastplate of judgment and an ephod to me.
Con. There goes some garment right there.
What is this?
Those are the pomegranates.
Pomegranates on the borders of blue. You see that?
Yeah.
These brothers, he has prominent pomegranates, but within his borders.
You see on his shoulders, he got those. What's it called? Those some black stones called
the rim and thumbing. Those stones.
Yeah, the black stones. I forgot what they call it.
Represents rim and urim.
Con.
I mean urim and thumbing.
Yeah, it's slipped my mind, but yep. It slipped it again.
The onyx stones.
Onyx stones. Yep. Con.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
Yep.
Got the scepter.
Con.
You see the cross.
Yep.
Or the thigh.
Yep. Con.
You know what I'm saying? Omega.
Yep.
Real shit, man. This is for real, man. This ain't no joke.
Con.
And this was a Byzantine emperor named Hyperpyron in the Emmanuel the First. Hyperpyron from 1143 AD. Here's another one. These are all black men. These are brothers. Brothers holding on to a scroll. What scroll would that be? I wonder.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? He said King Boris the First.
And they were the first ones to be called Christians. The Israelites.
Israelites. You're right. Huh. So we got King Boris the First of Bulgaria, also known as Boris Mihail, or that's Michael. You see how the Hebrew changed over to like this from this? I wouldn't have thought that was saying Michael, but it did. It was Mihail. Michael. You know, I don't know. Okay. Michael died on the 2nd of May, 907. Was the Kenyas was the Kenyas prince of First Bulgaria Empire in 852 through 889.
Come on now.
This is crazy, man. These are brother men. You see how they have all the colors correct. You get what I'm saying by that? Like, look,
Wow.
when they want green, they got the green. When they want to show dark, black, or blue, whatever that is, it's prominently, because my thing is messed up, but it's prominently that color. When they want red, it's obvious. These brothers was meaning to paint red. When they wanted a lighter, or this would be something like a Caucasian color.
Yeah, like a peach, kind of.
Like a peach, pinkish,
Yeah.
Edomite color. It'll be right there in the scroll. But these brothers, they didn't use this for the skin tone. They used a prominent brown. Prominent brown.
Huh.
Prominent.
And look at that dude hair ain't straight, man. That dude got a Negro beard and Negro fro.
Prominent.
The crown is you know what I mean, on the fro. You see it?
And these ain't Muslims.
Nope.
You know what I mean? These ain't even ex-Muslims. Ex-Muslims don't wear crowns. They wear turbans. He said, Byzantium is today distinguished from ancient Rome proper insofar as it was orientated towards Greek culture, characterized by Christianity rather than Roman paganism. What? Characterized by Christianity rather than Roman paganism. So it was the opposite of Roman paganism. It was the complete opposite of what we see today as Christianity. This is that 1,000-year reign.
Christianity is just followers of Christ.
Come
on now.
Come on. 1 second. 1 second. All right. If we go to the book of Revelation, and it's Revelations chapter 20. You see this? He said, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having a key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. This is where the millennial reign thing comes from. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. We are in that part right here, where he has been loosed for a little season, 500 years. He said, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ. What? 1,000 years. All right. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. It already happened. This is the first resurrection.
Ah.
The first resurrection was the fall of the Roman Empire, which was the rise of this Byzantine Empire.
That's right.
All right. Which was characterized by Christianity rather than Roman paganism. What? And was predominantly Greek speaking rather than Latin speaking. One of the important early Christians was Pope Clement I, later Saint Clement. He was the first apostolic father of the church. Few details are known about Clement's life. According to Tertullian, Clement was consecrated by who? Dang, Saint Peter. And he is known to have been a leading member of the church in Rome in the late 1st century. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is Saint Clement. What? What? This is a bona fide brother that was literally, man, shaking hands, sharing the same wine with Saint Peter himself. And we ain't talking about some white European that came along the line later. We talking about a direct apostle, a direct disciple of Christ, Peter. Peep this.
You see that breastplate on his chest too. You see it.
Yes, the breastplate of judgment right there. You see they borders. You see it.
Yeah, you don't see. Yeah, come on now.
They don't have no strings hanging off.
No.
It wasn't that kind of party. It was a embroidered, actually an intricately designed border.
Come on.
By this time, right here, what we seeing right here, these brothers right here, they been doing this. This is something that they do. Like what? Dress dope biblically. So when it gets down to the borders of blue and all that, or their borders or anything like that, man, these people was putting a lot into it, man. This is probably, if you wonder where all this stuff went, they probably got it under the Vatican right now. That's probably part of their whole archives of hidden mysteries under the Vatican is these people's garments, man, because these things right here was valuable. Christ's garment was split up in 4 different pieces, and them people was casting lots for that. They was auctioning off his garment, not because they thought Christ was dope, it's because his garment was expensive. Now watch this. According to Tertullian, Clement was consecrated by Saint Peter, and he is known to have been a leading member of the church in Rome in the late 1st century. So it's possible that Paul was writing letters to this brother. Early church lists placed him as the 2nd or 3rd bishop of Rome after Saint Peter. The Liber Pontificalis presents a list that makes Pope Linus the 2nd in the line of bishops of Rome, with Peter as 1st. But at the same time, it states that Peter ordained 2 bishops, Linus and Pope Cletus, for the priestly service of the community, devoting himself instead to prayer and preaching, and that it was to Clement that he entrusted the church as a whole. What? So they're saying that when Peter started the church that Christ said that he's going to build his rock on, Peter was more like, all right, I'm gonna co-sign the whole ordeal, but I'm gonna remain in the back scene. I'm gonna let the real. I'm gonna let you guys right here do all the real, get all the real, get all the real lines shine. You guys gonna get all the spotlight. Paul's like, I'm just gonna go ahead and work on that spiritual sewing up, strengthening the kingdom. That's a trip, man. So he entrusted it to this brother right here, Clement, which is bona fide a black man. And if we look inside the script, Paul even said that it was Peter's duty to go and teach the Jews. Peter was sent to the Jews, while Paul, his mission was to the Hellenized Israelites that is following after the Greekish fashions, called the Grecians or the Hellenes. So we see that the dude that Paul actually ordained as his right-hand man was this black man right here. But like I said, Paul's mission was to go to the Jews, which is now a double up and reinforcement of proof that the Jews were black. And not only were they black, they ruled in the Middle Ages through the popeship of Peter. You say, and these people are just Roman people using all these Roman terminologies. I doubt Peter called himself a pope, but this is what they're using, the terminology, so we're just going to keep on rocking with it. All right. He said, and that it was to Clement that he entrusted the whole church as a whole, appointing him as his successor. Tertullian, too, makes Clement, my bad. Tertullian makes Clement the immediate successor of Peter. And while in one of his works, Jerome gives Clement as the fourth bishop of Rome after Peter, not in the sense of fourth successor of Peter, but fourth in a series that included Peter. So he wasn't fourth as in there was three guys that came before him. It was four dudes. This was a clique of four men. And he chose Clement. That's what Jerome's take on the whole ordeal was. Said not in the sense of the fourth successor of Peter, but fourth in a series that included Peter. He adds that most of the Latins think that Clement was second after the apostle.
Cover California helps you get health insurance when life.
Saint Clement is said to have known Saint Peter, Saint Luke, Barnabas, and even Saint Paul personally. And he even traveled with them on several occasions. After Saint Peter and his first successor, Linus and Cletus, were martyred, he was appointed Bishop of Rome, and the third successor of Saint Peter. How is these Christians now bishops of Rome? That's because these brothers have supplanted the Roman Empire. They're taking over the Roman Empire, and it's being recorded and documented right here in front of our eyes. Another was John Chrysostom, Archbishop of Constantinople. That's one of them mixed breed cats, looking like Nipsey or something. Portrait of Saint John Chrysostom of Antioch, Archbishop of Constantinople, an early Byzantine mosaic from the Cathedral of Hagia Sophia in Constantinople, modern Istanbul. The mosaic is approximately 1,000 years old. John Chrysostom lived circa 347 through 407. and he was an important early church father. He is known for his eloquence in preaching and public speaking. The divine liturgy of St. John Chrysostom and his ascetic sensibilities. After his death in 407, he was given the Greek surname Chrysotomos, meaning golden mouth, rendered in English as Chrysostom. Another, and this is the cat they talking about. Mixed breed brother. Another was Agnes, mixed breed sister right here, light-skinned sister. Another was Agnes of Rome, from 291 to 304. She is a virgin martyr, venerated as a saint in the Roman Catholic Church. So this is from white folks right here. They were one that's saying that she's a saint of the Roman Catholic Church and all that shit. These people were obviously was following after Christ and following after the Torah, and they were running their own kingdom, and they wasn't modeling themselves after the Roman Catholic Church. It's clearly said that they're actually using the characteristics of Christianity, which is following after the Torah. It's that Eastern Orthodox Church, the Anglican Communion, and Lutheranism. She is one of 7 women, excluding the Blessed Virgin, commemorated by name in the canon of the Mass. She is the patron saint of chastity, gardeners, girls, engaged couples, rape victims, and virgins. And you see right here, it says this is a whitenized portrait. All right. And they still couldn't hide the clear characteristics of Negro stock. This is all Negro here. All this is Negro, not European. And you notice that these people are always, they'll show you these royal people and they'll have some white folks around them. These were our servants, man. These were our servants. See how he got a rake in his hand? Yeah, servant. He said, she is also known as Saint Agnes and Saint Ines. Her memorial, which commemorates her martyrdom, is January 21st in both the Roman Catholic calendar of saints and in the general Roman calendar of 1962. The 1962 calendar includes a second feast on the 28th of January, which commemorates her birthday. Agnes is depicted in art with the lamb, as her name resembles the Latin word for lamb, Agnes. The name Agnes is actually derived from the feminine Greek adjective hagne, meaning chaste, pure, or sacred. According to tradition, Saint Agnes was a member of the Roman nobility born and raised in a Christian family. She suffered martyrdom at the age of 12 and 13 during the reign of the Roman Emperor Diocletian on the 21st of January 304. The perfect Sempronius wished Agnes to marry her son Procopius, and on Agnes' refusal, he condemned her to death. As Roman law did not permit the execution of virgins, Sempronius had a naked Agnes dragged through the streets to a brothel. These people, the Romans was some vicious white folks. If you wasn't, so basically, since she didn't mate and swirl with this dude, he was like, all right, well then I'm just going to kill you. Well, it's against the law to kill you, well then we'll just drag you around in the streets, buck naked. I guess like they didn't consider that killing her. That's a twisted way of thinking. Like what killed her then? The street, the animal that you used to drag her. I wonder how they viewed her death and who was responsible. Anyways, another was Pope Gregory. All right, where's Pope Gregory? Another is Pope Gregory the First, 540 to 604, better known in English as Gregory the Great. He was Pope from the 3rd September 590 until his death. Gregory is well known for his writings, which were more prolific than those of any of the predecessors as Pope. Throughout the Middle Ages, he was known as the father of Christian worship because of his exceptional efforts in revising the Roman worship of his day. So these brothers went through, and in other words, like the same way we are revising and clearing up the false doctrine that comes with Christianity pertaining to the New Testament and Christ, these brothers did it first with the Roman Empire. We're following right after their footsteps just by default, because these wicked rulers that's been enslaving us and reigning over us is always up to the same old dirty tricks, which is to pollute the covenant and cause us to sin while we're holding. The best way to do it is cause you to sin while you actually reading the Bible and make you believe that you're actually still in the correct. Like there ain't no way that you ain't gonna never address your sins if somebody taught you that you are already doing the right thing and you're using the Bible to do it. Man, it's the perfect, you know what I mean? Like one dude said, like, if I was Satan, what would I do? He said, oh, I would create Christianity. I would create Catholicism. And I would cause people to sin by using verses in the Bible that would vaguely lead them to sinning. You're like, yeah, I would do that. And he goes on a big old list, but it was a dope analogy. But look at this. Looks
like you lost another one.
Let me get this. Just so we can be clear. All right, what were the periods of the Middle Ages? Let me see if we can just get something real quick. Right here in www.britannica.com. It just clearly just says this real quick. The period of European history extending from about 500 to 400 to 1500 CE, so that's a span of 1,000 years, is traditionally known as the Middle Ages. The term was first used by 15th century. We'll go into this a little bit. By 15th century scholars to designate the period between their own time and the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The period is often considered to have its own internal divisions, either early and late, or early, central, or high and late. All right. So they break it up with the Middle Ages covers the whole span of the 1,000 years, but at the end, the last 500 years, they'll call them the actual Dark Ages, which is the last 500 years of the 1,000 years. And it's like, whatever, you can look at it any way how you want to. At the end of the day, this is the Middle Ages is a span of 1,000 years. And we established that. So we see that these brothers in the Middle Ages, during this 1,000-year reign, we see prominently Negro characteristics in rulership. All right. So, reading on, he said, which were more prolific than any of his predecessors as Pope. Throughout the Middle Ages, he was known as the father of Christian worship because of his exceptional efforts in revising the Roman worship of his day. Saint Jerome, by Theodoric of Prague, circa 1360, he was the Bohemian court painter to Charles IV, Holy Roman Emperor. And he painted Saint Jerome as a black man. See that nappy beard? You see these?
Come on now, Con. Yeah.
These nappy bearded Afro brothers.
Yeah. OGs on the side.
Mm-hmm. He said he is also known as Saint Gregory, the dialogist in Eastern Orthodoxy because of his dialogues. For this reason, English translations of Orthodox texts will sometimes list him as Gregory Dialogus. He was the first of the popes to come from a monastic background. Gregory is a doctor of the church and one of the Latin fathers. He is considered a saint in the Roman Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, Anglican Communion, and some Lutheran churches. And when you see it, they're saying like he is considered a saint in the Roman Catholic Church, you're like, okay, what does that really mean? That actually just means that this is somebody that the white folks is taking credit for. They're like, we know that this guy is a prominent figure. There's prominent paintings and sculptures and writings of this guy, just saying, prolifically scattered throughout this European empire. Saying we would be found as liars if they try to deny the guy's existence. So what they do, they co-opt them. They say, okay, well, we'll just co-opt this cat. We'll just say that that's all us. Matter of fact, everything that the Negro did, everybody that's dope over here, nigga, we gonna do our best to just make this dude white. We don't give a damn. And the ones that we get by, the ones that get by on us, that slips through the cracks or slips through our filtration system, we're gonna give you a crappy ass weird excuse and explanation on why this black ass Negro with a crown on is depicted in Europe.
Hey, was that your computer that was dying or mine?
That was mine.
Oh, okay.
He says, immediately after his death, all right, Gregory was canonized by popular acclaim. John Calvin admired Gregory and declared in his institutes that Gregory was the last good pope. He is the patron saint of musicians, singers, students, and teachers. And this is talking about Pope Gregory. I'm looking for the picture of the cat, though. I don't see the picture of him. Let me know if I'm missing that. We got Saint Jerome. Oh, my bad. Boom, in your face. There's Gregory right there. Somewhat, to me, he looks kind of like a white guy. I'm gonna be honest. If somebody say that, this is about to be your cellmate, I'll be thinking like they about to put me in a cell with a white dude. But if he was white, this is what they say, because he knew that I was gonna be probably thinking that if white history was truthful, this fate would not be necessary. Okay, all right. So now you guys just now turned him into literally, racist as Jim Crow, Jim Crow Joe Biden right there. Okay, so then now you're looking a little bit more like a mixed breed in this one versus this completely reconstruction of the guy, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is the fake white painting of Pope Gregory. Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire. The First Council of Nicaea, which was in 325 AD, formalized Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire. Why? Why is it we see this happening around here? Because remember, this guy.
Dang, I was muted. I didn't even know I was muted.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I was saying that dude, that black dude, or that dude, Pope Gregory, that dude looked black to me, man. Looked like Lance.
Yeah, at the top, yeah. Once I looked at it and then looked at the cleanup of what they're trying to clean up, then it was like, oh shit. No, okay, so that is a white man right here. Wait a minute. That ain't no white man.
Right.
That's a Lance.
Yeah.
You know? So, but look at in the 300s, in the mid 300s, we got a push. We got white folks starting to realize, like, damn, we're losing our handle on this this Roman lie that we pushing. We starting to lose this handle on these Christians just coming up. So anybody that started fighting against it, look at him. He became an OG. Julian attempted to prevent the drift of the empire towards Christianity, hence his name apostate. You know what I mean? They call him an apostate now. Like, what the fuck? You ain't no apostate. But anyway, all right, let's go back now. All right, right here. It says the first council of Nicaea, 325 AD. So we see now in the mid 300s, in the 300 or in the 4th century, Salakia, that would be this would be the 4th century. In the 4th century, these people are fighting against Christianity, fighting against the movement of Christ that is now evidently taking over their kingdom. We got people starting to get set up in high positions of influence and all that. Watch this. He says, in the first Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, formalized Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire, and Rome became the center of Christianity. When Rome was sacked by the Albino Germanics in 410 AD, though the papacy remained in Rome, Constantinople became predominant. All right. In 800 AD, Pope Leo III crowned Charles I, king of the Franks, Charlemagne, as Roman emperor, even though there was already a Roman emperor in Constantinople. Under the protection of the Frankish emperors, the Pope was once again able to exert authority. This is the Queen of England, straight sister. She got the braids over here on the side. I don't know how she got her braids. Look like she got some extension work going on, but she draped up and dripped out. And it says Berengaria of Navarre, Queen of England, as the wife of Richard I. She was the eldest daughter of Sancho the Sixth of Navarre and Sancho of Castile. Got another sister. She up there. What's up with whoever? Like, nobody never told us that Europeans be running around looking like Negroes. I thought Europeans look like this. This is what the European look like. What's up with all this? This look like one of their music video women today. One of them rappers that these women being misled with. Same type of genetic stock. Look at this. What's going on? What is this? Somebody went through a lot of work to paint these naps on this woman. This is a sister with straight, coarse hair. Not that white, weird Ross shit. This is that one, if you leave it alone, it's going to turn into dreads. Who is this lady? This is Queen Joanne, or Joanne the third of Navarre from 1528 to 1572, showing obvious bloodline with Berengaria of Navarre, was also known
Yeah,
as
tell your moms make sure she get that dog. What that dog? You know what I mean before it gets too hot.
huh
Slovakia.
was also known as Jeanne the Third the Albrecht. She was the queen regnant of Navarre from 1555 to 1572. Man, Salakia, give me 1 second. He said she married Antoine de Bourbon, Duke of Vendôme, and was a mother of Henry of Bourbon. She became King Henry IV. Who became King Henry III of Navarre and King Henry IV of France, and first Bourbon King of France. She became the Duchess of Vendôme by marriage. She was the acknowledged spiritual and political leader of the French Huguenot movement and a key figure in the French Wars of Religion. What the? This lady. This is a half black sister, and if you ask me, this she was probably a lot more shades darker before the whitewashing. But we see like, oh man, these were Negroid human beings doing the most over there in Europe. What are they saying? Why aren't they telling us that these black folks was reigning over there? If we knew this, we wouldn't be sitting around here having these millennial reign doctrines starting to spread around everywhere. He said East and West schisms of 1054, sometimes known as the Great Schism, formally divided the state church of the Roman Empire into Eastern Greek and Western Latin branches, which later became known as the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church, respectively. Relations between East and West had long been embittered by political and ecclesiastical differences and theological disputes. There were no single event that marked the breakdown. In the centuries immediately before the schisms became definitive, a few short schisms between Constantinople and Rome were followed by reconciliations. So they were going back and forth, making up and breaking up, beefing and then squashing the beef. Pope Leo the Ninth of Rome and Patriarch of Constantinople, Michael Cerularius heightened the conflict by suppressing Greek and Latin in their respective domains. So you guys over here in the Greek, you guys speaking that Greek, you guys stay over here. You over here speaking that Latin, then you must stay over here. Don't y'all come over here trying to talk to each other. In 1054, Roman legates traveled to Michael Cerularius to deny him the title ecumenical patriarch, or first among equals, and to insist that he recognized the Church of Rome's claim to be the head of the mother of the churches. Cerularius refused. The leader of the Latin contingent, Cardinal Humbert, excommunicated Cerularius, while Cerularius in return excommunicated Cardinal Humbert and the other legates. Though efforts were made to reunite the two churches in 1274 by the Second Council of Lyon and in 1439 by the Council of Florence, they ended in failure. Today, the Eastern Orthodox Church, being continuous, still depicts the original Christians as they really were, as blacks, though somewhat whitenized. The Western Church and its offshoots, Roman Catholic, Anglican, Anabaptist, Baptist, Congregational, Lutheran, Methodist, Presbyterian, Pentecostal, Quaker, Reformed, and etc., apparently unafraid of damnation for heresy, chooses to falsely depict them as albinos. Whoa. So the Roman Catholic Church, or the Western churches, they were the ones that said, man, we don't give a damn. We're going to flip the script and we're going to lie. But you can go and look and see on the Eastern, or the what do they call it? Yeah, the Eastern Orthodox churches. You will see that these people are still black. The same ones, from the same stock of people, receiving the same message and teaching the same doctrine. He said, presentation of Mary in the temple. They showed these were black people, but I can see that they try to lighten them up. I can see the lightening of it, but you still can't hide the fact that these people are black. You could just see that somebody lightened up some black people. That's it. It's real clear though, especially when you get to these brothers. These are just Negroes. Homeboy right here, he could be in any hood. We all seen him everywhere. We got these brothers. He says, the high priest before Pilate by Duccio de Buoninsegna, circa 1300. Duccio, Italian, c. 1255, 1319, was an Italian painter, active in the city of Siena in Tuscany, where he was born. He is considered to be the father of Sienese painting, and along with a few others, the founder of Western art. And so we can see still that a lot of these people, they still got a lot of black features and characteristics to them. This is not that blonde hair, blue eyes, scraggly long hair, bushy tail white folks and white girls that we are normally taught about what the Europeans look like. Avignon was a French city in southeastern France by the left bank of the Rhone River, often referred to as the city of popes because of the presence of popes and anti-popes from 1309 to 1423 during the Catholic Schism. In 1309, the city, still part of the kingdom of Arles, was chosen by Pope Clement V as his residence, and from 1309 to 1377, it was the seat of the papacy instead of Rome. This caused a schism in the Catholic Church. At the time, the city and the surrounding Comtat Venaissin were ruled by the kings of Sicily of the house of Anjou. The French king Philip the Fair, who had inherited from his father all the rights of Alphonse de Poitiers, the last count of Toulouse, gave them over to Charles II, king of Naples and count of Provence, 1290, Queen Joanna I of the Sicily, as Countess of Provence, sold the city to Clement the Sixth for 80 florins on June 9, 1348. And though it was later the seat of more than one antipope, Avignon belonged to the papacy until 1791, when during the French Revolution it was reincorporated with France. Man, 7 popes resided there. Pope Clement, Pope John, Pope Benedict, Pope Clement the Sixth, Pope Innocent, Pope Urban, and Pope Gregory.
Dang.
Look at these dudes.
OGs.
Bunch of OGs. And you see, and you see all the color variations and everything else.
Yeah.
But what they'll teach you is that there was some strange explanation on why these people are black. Like, oh, the color faded, or this is from being old paint, or they used that because that's the color that they had for these. And it was like, man, none of the reasons are actually real solid reasons, other than the fact it's like, no, it was just like they were black. Somebody painted these people black. These are black people.
Wow.
Like all the other colors around you proves that no, this was a choice. Someone purposefully made these guys Negroes with little mini fros on the side. You look at Saint Catherine of Siena before the Pope of Avignon, Pope Gregory the 11th, by Giovanni di Paolo, 1460. This was us, y'all. These are your guys' ancestors, man. Look at that. Black man. Black man. Man. These are some brothers, man. Come over here hollering at that sister. What's up, sister?
100%.
Huh?
100% black man.
He said Saint Catherine invested with the Dominican habit by Giovanni di Paolo, 1461, a year after he painted this one. So this guy right here, he ain't crazy. This guy right here knew exactly what he was painting. Got the Black Christ sitting right next to him. Here we go again. There's another picture by this dude, Giovanni di Paolo. Paolo. Giovanni di Paolo. More Negroes. Little black sister. And this is the painting. It's called The Miracle of St. Clair. All right, we got John the 8th. Paleologos. John the 8th Paleologos. John the 8th Paleologos, or Paleologus, 1392 through 1444, was the penultimate next to last reigning Byzantine emperor, ruling from 1425 to 1448. Because after this, you already know what happens. In 1492, Columbus sells the Sea of Blue. What happened? Why Columbus? The guy selling the Sea of Blue because they did something from this time, from 1448 to 1492, where they didn't killed everybody and took over all the stuff, and now they running and they reigning everything. It's called the Renaissance. He said John VIII was the eldest son of Manuel II Paleologos and Helena Dragas, the daughter of the Siberian prince Constantine Dragas. He was associated as co-emperor with his father before 1416 and became sole emperor in 1425. This is what the brother looks like. Dark-skinned, mixed breed brother with the wavy hair on some on the Nipsey tip. John IV Paleologos, or Paleologus, reigning emperor, the Byzantine Empire, library of the Holy Monastery of St. Catherine, Sinai, image pasted into Codex 2123, OL 30. Yeah, so it's not a coincidence that these people are using very, very dark skin for these characters. In June 1422, John VIII Paleologos supervised the defense of Constantinople during the siege by the Ottoman Turks under Murad II, but had to accept the loss of Thessalonica, which his brother Andronikos had given to Venice in 1423. I don't hear nothing. Hold on, excuse me.
You don't hear the music? I hear it.
Y'all hear anything?
Yeah.
Y'all Sab, Shalom.
Shalom.
Am I tripping? Anybody hear anything?
Yeah, I hear it. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me, Battle Axe? Oh, your computer must be about to die.
I can't hear nothing, man. I think something's wrong. Hold on. Oh.
You ain't had to do nothing for me to think you trying me. Flashbacks when I
Can you hear me?
past you remind me. Always broken up, wouldn't open up if you cried to me. They kicked me to the curb, so I fell in love with my privacy. Stop talking to them drugs, or they only started.
You can hear me?
Like something dying inside.
Yeah, now I can, man. My bad, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. I snatched out the cord. My bad, y'all. I was like, man, what the heck? Hold on. Let me get this back. Stupid ass beat.
The new best way to make money online that nobody's talking about is something you've never heard of before. It's using Audible. So these are...
All right, man. My bad, man. I don't even know when I pulled it off. When did that happen?
No, we heard you. We heard everything you said.
Oh. All right. All right. Now, where were we?
You were in John the 8th.
We got the top.
Yeah, he started the top.
All right. In June 1422, John VIII Paleologos supervised the defense of Constantinople during a siege by the Ottoman Turks under Murad II, but had to accept the loss of Thessalonica, which his brother Andronikos had given to Venice in 1423. To secure protection against the Ottomans, he visited Pope Eugene IV and consented to the union of the Greeks and Roman churches. The union was ratified at the Council of Florence in 1439, which John attended with 700 followers, including Patriarch Joseph II of Constantinople and George Gemistos Platon, Neoplatonist philosopher, influential among the academics of Italy. The union failed due to opposition of Constantinople, but through his prudent conduct towards the Ottoman Empire, he succeeded in holding possession of the city. John VIII Paleologos named his brother Constantine the 11th and had served as regent in Constantinople in 1437 to 39 as his successor. Despite the machinations of his younger brother Demetrios Paleologos, his mother Helena was able to secure Constantine's 11th succession in 1448. John VIII died at Constantinople in 1448. Constantine the 11th Paleologos, 1404 to 1453, was the last reigning Byzantine Empire emperor from 1449 to his death as member of the Paleologos dynasty. The fall of Constantinople. All right. The siege of the city began in the winter in 1452. Constantine faced the siege defending his city of 60,000 people with an army only numbering 7,000 men. Confronting the Byzantine forces was an Ottoman army numbering many times that, backed by state-of-the-art siege equipment provided by a very competent Hungarian arms maker named Orban. Before the beginning of the siege, Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II made an offer to Constantine XI in exchange for the surrender of Constantinople. The emperor's life would be spared, and he would continue to rule in Mistra, to which, as preserved by G. Sephartis, Constantine replied. And this Constantine, just keep in mind that this Constantine, the 11th Paleologos, is not the Constantine from the 300s. Are we clear on that? He's not the one that did the whole Christian thing and changed it to the Roman Catholic Church. That's not that Constantine.
Yeah, this is 1400s.
This is a way later. This is Constantine the 11th. You know, basically, we know about Constantine pretty much the first, the Christian, the one that messed up the Sunday. I mean, messed up the Shabbat, right? Not the same guy. He says, interest of Mehmed II into Constantinople. This is what it looked like. So you know when they're trying to show you white folks, this is what they look like. This is what white folks look like when they want to show you. And then in contrast, this is the same skin tones that they used to paint black people. That brown. Not this. That's not a white man. These ain't white men. That's not a white sister talking to white men. These ain't white men. These ain't white men. This is when white men is depicting white men. They know how to make. They know what white people look like. Come on now, let's stop playing. Let's stop playing coy. We know what white people look like. He says right here, to surrender the city to you is beyond my authority or anyone else's who live in it. For all of us, after taking the mutual decision, shall die out of free will without sparing our lives. He led the defense of the city and took and fighting alongside his troops in the land walls. At the same time, he used his diplomatic skills to maintain the necessary unity between the Genoveses or the Genovese, Venetian, and the Greek troops. He died on the 29th of May, 1453. The day the city fell, his last recorded words were, "The city is fallen, and I am still alive." And then he tore off his imperial ornaments so as to let nothing distinguish him from any other soldier, and led his remaining soldiers into a last charge where he was killed. It looks like this incident right here. A false account of the death is recorded by the Ottoman historian. Excuse me. I gotta get off of that dude. You guys got to keep in mind. You guys know this is just off topic, but you guys know that, you know what I mean, when we hearing these beats, a lot of these beats is made by like straight white pagans, ridiculous as non-rhythmic. They don't have no soul, man, and they making our beats. That's why sometimes you hear a beat and it's just so foul beyond comparison. You be like, man, this is really whack. You like, what is who the fuck did this? I'm like, why is this part of the beats? Who the fuck sat down and kept on working on this? Because I used to make beats. It takes time and dedication. But it's like, damn. Some of these beats, they are not made it. But anyway, he said, a false account of the death is recorded by the Ottoman historian Tursun Beg, who was an eyewitness at the siege. According to him, Constantine was killed by Ottoman Azab soldiers while trying to flee with his retinue. After his death in battle during the fall of Constantinople, he became a legendary figure in Greek folklore as the Marble Emperor, who would awaken and recover the empire in Constantinople from the Turks. His death marked the end of the Roman Empire, which had continued in the East for 977 years after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. So this is the end of the blacks ruling Europe. The Ottomans.
Oh.
So how did the blacks lose Europe? The Ottomans. The Frankish realm, or occasionally Frankland, was the territory inhabited and ruled by the Franks from the 3rd to the 10th century. That's the 200s to the 900s. Under the nearly continuous campaigns of Charles Martel, Pepin the Short, and Charlemagne, father, son, grandson, the greatest expansion of the Frankish Empire was secured by the early 9th century. And look at that. It says, you see these blacks right here? See the crowns? These are real black folks in comparison to what? Whites. He says, illumination title, Battle of Roncesvalles. That's how they speak. That A-U-X in those languages is just like, yeah. So, Battle of Roncesvalles. Bibliothèque Nationale de France. FR 2813. National Library of France. The Battle of Roncesvalles. Pass was a battle in 778 in which a large force of Basques, whites on the left,
Looks like you lost another.
ambushed Emperor Charlemagne's black king on the right army while crossing the Roncesvalles Pass that took place during Charlemagne's invasion of Spain. The cause of the battle was Charlemagne's destruction of the Basque defense in the region, enraging the tribes to what? To retaliate against him. It was fought at Roncesvalles Pass, a high mountain pass in the Pyrenees on the border between France and Spain. Over the years, the battle was romanticized. My bad, y'all. I don't know why I keep on pulling this cord out. That's in a bad position. All right. He said, over the years, the battle was romanticized by oral tradition into a major conflict between Christians and Muslims, when in fact both sides of the battle were Christian. The legend is recounted in 11th century, the Song of Roland. You see how they try to do that? They try to say Christian against the Muslims. When it was actually, these were both Christians. These were just the Catholic Renaissance Christians coming back. And these are the niggas that's losing their kingdom after a 1,000-year reign with Christ. He said, over the years, the battle was romanticized by oral tradition into a major conflict between Christian and Muslims, when in fact both sides of the battle were Christian. The legend is recounted in 11th century, the Song of Roland, which is the oldest surviving major work of French literature, and in Orlando Furioso, which is one of the most celebrated works of Italian literature. Note, racist history falsifiers often identify the king as the Saracen king Marsil or Marsil. However, the lie is obvious. Saracens/Muslims wore turbans, not crowns. Moving on. Unknown knight slaying Saracens. Saracens were actually Christians, black Christians. 14th century manuscript illumination from Grandes Chroniques de France, Bibliothèque Nationale de France, FR 2813. Look at that. This is white people killing black folks in Europe. I thought black folks wasn't from Europe. I thought black folks never lived in Europe like that, except for in small numbers, and they were just immigrants getting by.
You see that Yo Bell right there?
Yup. Yay. That's the Yo Bell. And these are the knights. But this is partly whitewashed. Look at partially whitenized painting of the death of Roman at the Battle of Roncevaux by Jean Fourquet. See how they try to make him white?
Yeah.
But everybody else is black.
Yep.
Look at that. This is Jean.
Black man.
That ain't nothing but a black man. There is no such thing as anybody else fitting this characteristic, but just literally United States African American black man. Look like 95% of the NBA basketball players and all that shit right here. This is what an African American looks like. If anybody asks, like, what does an African American look like? This picture would actually be a good enough explanation.
Wow.
Jean Fourquet's self-portrait was originally set into the frame of the so-called Milon diptych, painted in circa 1450 for Etienne Chevalier, counselor of Charles VII, from who was alive from 1403 to 1461. Jean Fourquet was the greatest French artist of the 15th century. And this is his own painting of himself. This is his self-portrait. This is how he painted himself. That's very, very, very important to know that he painted himself as a black man. He said, was the greatest French artist of the 15th century, representing a particular school, influenced by aspects of Italian art. and which spurned the excesses of the flamboyant Gothic style. The Milan diptych, now in two parts, one in Berlin and the other in Antwerp, featured a series of medallions set into the frame, including this.
We can't see that part that you reading because that the one nation set apart Israel, Israelite Army of Salvation.
All right, how about that?
Yep.
He said, featured a series of medallions set into the frame, including this self-portrait. The picture is the earliest known self-portrait by a French painter, and the earliest round portrait in the history of French painting. So this is the first deal. This is the first time these folks have found a picture with somebody doing it in a circle like this, encased in gold and all this stuff. Man, it was done by this black man right here, man. We really don't got time to be sitting around here denying that the millennial reign of Christ occurred in Europe during what we know as the Middle Ages. There's too much Christianity popping off over there. Way too much Negroes in rulership over there. And the church is thriving way too well and for too long over there. And Paul sent way too many letters over there for us to not believe that the millennial reign was over there. Come on now. I'm just being frank. The Battle of Ronceville Pass, French-English spelling, Roncesvalles in Spanish, Oriega in Basque. Excuse me. He says, in 1774, Hussein of Zaragoza, in the Arabic sources, Al-Hussein, Ibn Yahya, whatever, who was Wali, governor of Zaragoza, now the Spanish province of Aragon, conspired with the Yemenite aristocracy against the Emir, proclaiming the rule of Abbasid Arab Caliphate in Hispania. In response, the Emir sent General Abdul al-Malik bin Umar, who obtained the allegiance of Abu Tariq of Huska, and the Wali, or governor, of Tudela, who was defeated in Zaragoza. In 777, the Wali of Barcelona, some Arab cat, offered Charlemagne his own allegiance and the allegiance of Hussein when Paderborn, Germany. But when in 778 Charlemagne arrived in Zaragoza, Hussein denied any promise. As Charlemagne could not take the city, he withdrew after a month, which then led to the Battle of Ronceville Pass. In 780, Hussein had Suleiman al-Arabi killed after he returned to Zaragoza. In 781, the Emir Abd ar-Rahman the first sent General Salaba for a caliphate. After a long siege, Hussein agreed to a truce. His son said bin Hussein was given to the emir as a hostage. According to historian al-Nawari, Hussein was killed soon after his surrender. Man, it's going down long. I think we just now read enough about this battle of Ronceville. I'm gonna go right here. It should be remembered that European black Christians had no problem with Black Arab Islamists in the Holy Lands. It might be important to read this. We're going to have to read this. Roncesvalles of northern Spain in the Pyrenees, northeast of Pamplona, near the French frontier. This pass is the traditional site of the Battle of Roncesvalles of August 15, 778, in which the Basques Visigoth ambushed and totally wiped out the rear guard of the Frankish army as they were returning across the mountains of Aquitaine after Charlemagne had ravaged several towns south of the Pyrenees and had razed Pamplona. The Frankish army was led by the Seneschals Egihard, the Count Palatine Anselm, and Roland, prefect of the March of Brittany. The battle forms in the basis of the legend of the hero Roland recounted in the epics Le Chanson de Roland and Roncesvalles. In Chanson de Roland, the are the Moors, and the rear guard is commanded by Charlemagne's nephew Roland, who is accompanied by his comrade Oliver and by Archbishop Turpin. Roland, urged by Oliver to sound his horn or his robel to recall the main army, is too proud to do so. When the blast is at last blown, it is too late for the returning army to do anything but avenge the main army's death. A similar fate was avoided in 811 by Louis I the Pious, or Le Debonair, the king of Aquitaine, who forced the wives and children of the local inhabitants to go through the pass with his army. The Battle of Roncesvalles, History and Legend, by Robert Liesel. August 15th marks the 1223rd anniversary of the Battle of Roncesvalles, a pitched battle fought by the contingent of Charlemagne's army led by Roland, the prefect of the Breton March, against a basket attack on the Roncesvalles Pass while Roland's men were on the retreat. Nah, man, who cares, man? Honestly, I just don't care. It should be remembered that European black Christians had no problem with black Arab Islamists in the Holy Land. The Crusades began only after albino Turks took control of Islam and the Holy Lands. All right, let's see what they're talking about. Capture of Jerusalem. The siege of Jerusalem was part of a military conflict which took place in the year 637 between Byzantine Empire, the Black Eastern Roman Empire, and the Black Arab Caliphate. All right. It began when the Arab army, under the command of Abu Ubaidah, besieged Jerusalem in November 636. After 6 months, the Patriarch Sophronius of the Catholic Church agreed to surrender on condition that he submits only to the Arab Caliph. In April 637, Caliph Umar traveled to Jerusalem in person to receive the submission of the city. The Patriarch thus surrendered to him. The Muslim conquest of the city solidified Arab control over Palestine. The First Crusade by Black Europeans occurred in 1096 to 1099. By then, Black Arab Muslims have ruled Jerusalem for 462 years. Clearly, religion was not the issue. Race was. And I say that this actually occurred not in the Middle East, but it occurred in Africa. Because as we can see, that the Romans, they were well known to be going into Africa and establishing something along literally sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah, they were looking out what routes they can take, you know what I mean, when they go in there. That's what that whole thing was about around these times. They was sending people to scout out the land before they start taking over.
Exactly. Scouting out routes that would support them in their conquest and colonization and taking over. Correct. You're absolutely right. So let's see though. Check this out. That's why we see a lot of Islamic influence and Arabic influence in the continent of Africa. It's because this was happening right here, and these people actually sieged that Jerusalem, Africa, for 500 years. Had it on lock, unadulterated. Clearly, religion was not the issue. Race was. As it happens, Black Europe's instincts were correct. The Asian albinos were a Seminole threat. And in time, the albinos would destroy them. The First Crusade did not commence after Pope Urban's call at Clermont in 1095. He's calling these people albinos, but the actual biblical correct terminology for these people would be the Edomites. So, he said, while Christian kingdoms prepared their armies for departure, an illegal equipped mob of peasants under the leadership of the charismatic monk Peter the Hermit attempted to make the crusade on their own. This disorganized event, known as the People's Crusade, was marked by violence against what? Jews. As the mob made its way across Europe, and by its quick defeat at the hands of the Turks. Although the First Crusade was plagued with hardships ranging from hunger to disease, it nevertheless ended favorably for the Crusaders with the capture of Nicaea, Antioch, and most importantly, Jerusalem in 1099. Meanwhile, Black Arabs, I thought Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 AD. Reading on. Meanwhile, Black Arabs felt that giving their albino slaves, Turk Mamluks, and other fighters rights would them from their much more numerous non-Arab troops. Hey, Akmalak. I thought Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 AD. What is this Jerusalem now, right here? That lasted all the way up into the 1100s. That is not normal. Sounds like there's two Jerusalems. Well, watch this. Where were we? I think your mic is muted, man. Oh, we got Yao Sop in the house. Oh, Akmalak, he fell off. All right. He said, although the First Crusade was plagued with hardship ranging from hunger and disease, it nevertheless ended favorably for the Crusaders with the capture of Nicaea, Antioch, and most importantly, Jerusalem in 1099. Meanwhile, Black Arabs felt that giving their albino slaves, Turk Mamluks, and other fighters rights would protect them from their much more numerous non-Arab troops. It was under Umayyad Caliph II reigned from 712 to 720 that this discontented Mawali non-Arab Muslims were placed on the same footing with all other Muslims. They were placed on the same footing with all other Muslims. Why? It's because these people had a reason or an incentive behind that. They wanted to gain more numbers to fight other people. So what they had that negotiation, that conversion process, because it was illegal to to enslave a Muslim. You can join the Islamic Empire, and you can join their army and help them defeat somebody. Oh, the computer froze up on you. All right, for sure, man. You still there though? Just let me know right here on the chat when you're ready. But you say right here that these Muslims, they would actually have these people join their army. They're slaves. And give these people rights. You know? So let's keep moving on. He said, these non-Arab Muslims were placed on the same footing with all other Muslims, without respect to race or nationality. This decree allowed Turks and other Eurasians to fully assimilate into the Muslim Brotherhood. But of course, the Arabs... I seen you back there. All right, I didn't see you in the back. I'll wait. But he says, meanwhile, right here. But of course, the Arabs were very foolish to trust the albinos, the Edomites. I'm gonna swap out the word albino for Edomites. But of course, the Arabs were very foolish to trust the Edomites. The Mamluks rebelled and took Egypt from them in 1250 AD. And in 1055, the Arab Caliph al-Qa'im reigned 1031 to 75, was usurped by the Seljuk Turk chieftain Togril Beg, and after protracted negotiation ensuring restoration of the caliph's dignity, Togril entered Baghdad in December 1055. The Black Arab Caliph enthroned him and married a Seljuk princess. Ak said, we trusted the Edomites in the Apocrypha. Khan. They sure did. And
that Jerusalem being destroyed in that 10th century, man, 11th century, man, that was a heavy one.
Right.
A lot of people gonna have a lot of explaining to do, man. What happened to your 70 AD argument, man?
Right. I thought Jerusalem was turning to rebels in 70 AD. Why is Jerusalem being taken over in 1099?
Yeah, where's this Jerusalem at? Where is it at?
And where the hell did it? Yeah. And where the hell did it take place? Because the Byzantine Empire already covered that area that y'all claiming.
Facts. Yeah, man. So where's this other place? This other Holy Land, this other Jerusalem? Come on, man. It's only one place, man. That's Africa.
It's only one place.
Yeah, because quote unquote, the Jerusalem that the people try to say is now, or the Israel, you know, where the Israel or the Jewish people are, that quote unquote Jerusalem was quote unquote destroyed in 70 AD.
Right.
Oh God, man, this is crazy. This is, hey man, Kal Halal Haba, man. This is some powerful information right here, man. I hope y'all taking notes, man.
I hope they're taking notes, man. And I hope some people is repenting and, you know what I mean, going back and readdressing some of the things that they went wrong on. Because this right here is letting us know about that millennial reign is over. And the reason why I'm addressing about that millennial reign is because to let you guys know that this is an eternal kingdom that we're actually striving for. We ain't ever going to fall off after we get ourselves back together on this one. And we got to stop teaching our people anything otherwise, because those things are like, that's almost like discouraging. That doesn't make me feel good to know, like, dang, you know, in 1,000 years, the devil's going to be back out and he's going to be doing all this and that. Like, yeah, man, he's going to tear everything up and he's going to fuck it all up again. I'm like, man, whatever happened to eternal life? Whatever happened to everlasting life? I thought that I'm supposed
you can't get everlasting life, man, messing with the Muslims, man.
Hell no, you can't get no everlasting life with them Muslims.
You worshiping two different gods. You breaking the first commandment. You get no everlasting life breaking the first commandment.
The Muslims.
The what?
The Muslims.
Hell yeah.
You get no everlasting life.
You catching this, y'all sock? Y'all sock?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's going down, you know what I mean?
We showing that 1,000-year reign in Revelations where it say that we're gonna reign 1,000 years with Christ.
Huh?
I'm talking to y'all soft. You know that 1,000-year reign that y'all mean that was promised to the Israelites.
I thought we already reigned for 1,000 years.
That's what we're showing right now.
Yeah, that's
That's proof. We showing the proof because all the Israelites believe that we're waiting on this millennium reign.
Oh, they think we finna do it. They waiting on the 1,000-year reign again?
Yes.
Yeah.
We already got that in. That's why I remember when I was showing y'all pictures and them white people was in slavery and it was that black dude with the chains on his neck and on the horse.
Yeah.
That was during the reign.
Dang.
Oh damn! I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where that picture was. Where is it? They showed a depiction of the white folks in like these weird ass chains.
Yeah. The one I had though, that he had them like making a building or something.
Yeah, it showed them like the one I seen. It showed them naked and they were walking with chains, like some weird ass chains on their feet and on their hands.
Did you ever understand why they made us go naked on the slave ship?
Because we had expensive garments.
Nah, I thought it was because we used to circumcise ourselves as Israelites. So when they pointed to us, everybody who's circumcised, you know what I'm saying, got to get on the ship.
Dang.
Y'all never thought of it like that?
No. That makes sense though.
Because it's our customs, right? So how do you tell one black person away from another black person? He's black and he's black, but he's saying he's a Hittite and he's saying he's an Israelite. So how do you figure it out? Strip them naked. They circumcised. That's part of their religion. In order for you to be an Israelite, you got to be circumcised.
Talking about dong?
Huh?
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, white folks.
Yeah, white people they crazy.
Nah, them white folks need to leave them naked Africans alone. Leave them naked Africans alone. Let them put their clothes on. What the heck is wrong with these animals? Leave them people alone. So what that they did something to their weenie? That is private information and that shouldn't even be preyed upon. These people's crazy as a mug, man. I'm telling you.
Come on.
That's some crazy shit to me. I'm like, dongism? What?
Yeah, they went to the extreme to find the Israelites, man. If that's the case.
They had an obsession with dongism.
You can see in the you can see even in they little things now. Y'all mean they little statues and stuff in Rome. Them dudes was obsessed with that stuff, man.
He said, "What is dongism?"
Who said that?
Y'all saw. He said,
he said, money.
He was just honestly asking. This was a very honest question. He wasn't trying to be a smart aleck. He's just asking, like, what is that? You know, what the hell's going on? Am I missing something? Did I miss a lesson? Dongism is phallus. It's worship, man. Huh? You type in phallus. Hope they don't give us nothing pornography. But this is what you get. You get ancient dongism stuff. I know there's probably some kids on here, so I'm not gonna do this.
They're looking at penises.
But now you know it's bad. You know this was some bad shit, man.
They do dongism till this day. You go to prison, they want to see your dong.
They do donkeys all the way to this day.
I went to prison.
Acting as if me bringing in a joint or a crack rock is really like the biggest thing in the world, to where you got to see my genitalia. Get real, man. Me sitting around there getting high ain't that big of a damn deal. Like, let's say that we over here slamming dope. Oh, well, I'm in jail. I'm at the fucking, for real, I hit the bottom of society. Yeah, I'm in here getting high. You don't have to turn that into your peep show, checking out my phallus.
Yeah, but it's the one.
I'm telling you, man, there's some crazy shit there. We are amongst some crazy people. They will take. They have taken over our land, and they murdered us more than once. They didn't murder us when we was in Europe.
Yeah,
they murdered us while we was in Africa. Shit, they was killing us while we was slaves in Egypt.
That's right.
You guys gotta be careful about these folks.
Did they killing us now?
They killing us over here, man.
They hanging people out here in California.
Yeah. You heard about that man that just got found hanging?
Again, another one, huh?
Suicide.
I heard about it was another one.
Yeah, man, it's like every damn time too, they ruled out as suicide.
Oh, they said suicide? Oh, they didn't say that about them two in Lancaster that happened 3 years ago, where them two black boys were found hung to death. Back to back.
I didn't even hear about the one in Lancaster.
There's two of them back to back. They hung two black boys.
See, you know, they take that away from the media, man. You know what I mean?
No, nigga, you could Google it right now. Google it.
Yeah,
they didn't blast it,
but they don't be showing it.
They didn't blast. Okay, you remember when all that shit happened and we was out there marching?
Yeah.
Around that time, they hung them around that time. Somebody had got killed, and all the black folks start tripping.
Yeah, George Floyd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they went and did that. It's 117.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know about the Lancaster, but I know about.
Okay, you remember the black
that went down at that time?
That got ran over. He was out there. He was out there protesting, and he got ran over.
Yeah, I know about the people just getting ran over and protesting too. You know? I remember that.
That's the same time. It's around the same thing.
So we was actually out there when that black dude got killed.
That's why I was telling y'all. Y'all remember that day? That was the one, like around that same week.
Yeah, we actually like rolled up on. We walked up to the scene.
They had hung two people,
and they was like, "Yeah, man, some white dude just hit that black man."
Yeah, he got caught too.
Yeah.
That nigga only got a year or two.
Killed him though.
Yeah, because it's a hit and run, so it's like, you know what I'm saying, you don't get much.
Damn.
But look, I was in prison, right? And these niggas, I was trying to use the phone to call my girl. And they would hate on me using the phone because, like, there you can only use the phone, like, probably, like, 3 times out of a week. So, like, every other day. So I'm sitting there, and it's like 5 other niggas right here trying to do the same thing I'm doing. And they've been doing it before I even came to this prison. So I'm sitting there trying to get on the phone. I get on the phone, and it's like, Morgan, report to the office. Number AX945. I'm like, what the fuck? I go to the office. There's like, you need to strip down naked. I'm like, strip down naked? What I do, sir? He was like, you need to strip down, squat and car. This nigga made these niggas, it's 2 of them. They made me strip down naked, looked at me up and down, and told me to put my clothes on and go back to the unit.
Yeah, it's straight gay shit.
Like gay as a motherfucker, and made me feel like violated, nigga. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then I had to do it. The same prison, I had to do it again. And the dude, he was like, oh, you quite buff up under there. I'm like, oh, hell no. I hate this shit. That shit, like, that's the worstest part of prison. Dungism. I'm like, that's what
there's that damn dungism, man. It's like, fuck. These Edomites is wild out here. They wild. They wilding out here, man. That's why when I be looking at these folks that be talking about, man, they aboriginals and they just want to get into the politics. I'm like, man, I don't even know why y'all want to live with these white folks so damn bad. You like, these people is wild. They wilding out here. They running around.
You gotta let them white folk do what them white folk do, man. You can't be accustomed to them and doing what they want to do. Like I was telling my little brother, like, You sitting there trying to dress up in Gucci and Christian Dior. Did you know that them was faggots? Do you know like they trying to have you dress up like them and be like them without you not
Yeah.
even knowing, just because it costs some money? And like I seen these dudes like getting ready for prom. They had these skinny ass, you know, the slacks, the prom suit. This nigga had this shit skinny as a motherfucker. With like this nigga just looked like a fag, but I knew he wasn't a fag. But I'm like, damn, this nigga just looks like one. And it's like, why? Because you wearing the clothing. Like getting ready for prom.
Man, there was some information I had, man. I had it written down, man. There was some valuable ass information, but I lost that shit. But it was talking about how there is a certain government agency or department. That's the word. It's like a certain government department that is in control of fashion and
money in the house,
what people wear and the words that we use and slang and all that. Like that shit doesn't just come from thin air. This shit is done by a group of white men having the motherfuckers just flaming faggots, and they sitting around here and they say and they got pictures of what black people should look like. They say, okay, I think this year right here, we're moving into this kind of phase, and black people, they should be wearing pink. Like what? Like, yeah, pink.
Like,
Pink is the color now for these guys. Let's start. Let's get a Young Thug. Let's find a Lil Wayne. Let him put it like. Let's get these guys to promote this shit.
I said that garage. I said that bitch better not be in that garage.
And they use them. And they use them. They'll be like, here, boom. And they'll show you, like, this is your guys' new image. They won't say it to you. They'll just show you a fucking, you know what I mean? Crazy ass music video or something. But in that music video, the message is saying, hey, this is your guys' new look. This now is the way that you should go dress. And you go to the store, and guess what? All the clothes is literally in sync with these motherfuckers' music videos. The rappers going out there wearing little tiny shirts.
Yeah, them niggas don't care that they doing the gay thing. I'll be looking at them like these niggas is nuts. They call themselves gangsters and straight up put on some faggot gear. Like the nigga Lil Baby, they say he be shopping it. This nigga be looking for the faggot.
Nah, did you see YG and Tiger, man?
Nah, I ain't seen them.
Man, them dudes, them dudes is making a music video called Run, I guess, but these dudes is they dressed up like the white chicks. They you know Marlon Wayne and them did the white chick thing. And then like they had to make the face, they didn't look like they look like white girls. Also, well, that's what YG and Tiger doing. YG and Tiger, look it up right now. They doing some they dressing up like chicks, like not just clothes wise. They putting on chicks' faces and stuff.
Like I understand it, I really do. They're trying to destroy the black community. That's what I'm like so getting out of it. But it's like, damn. Oh my, it's like, damn, y'all don't take heed to this shit.
Look at watch this, man. This is crazy. Look, you see it?
We ain't gotta go like all the way into it, but
that's them.
You know, it's definitely we're not making it up. This is the proof. Like, oh snaps, oh just crossing the line, gay ass shit. Now, something that I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. I'm not doing it that style. You get what I'm saying? If somebody says, hey man, I need you to, you know what I'm saying, do something for me. And you're like, all right, what is it? I just need you to help me with this and that. You're like, okay, that's cool, I can handle that. But I just need you to dress like this. You're like, man, fuck you, man. You're like, and what kind of bullshit is this? There's no reason why I need to dress like this to do anything in my life. There's no reason that you gotta dress like that to get anything done. This is unacceptable. Who the fuck is this? This can't be YG.
That's them dudes. That's that Mason stuff, man. Dudes got to go through that fairest public humiliation, man.
That's all I gotta say, man. It's just like whack. Back to the video, because these niggas is. So I'm just trying to say, these dudes is lame, man. And these people follow after these dudes, man. That's the crazy thing about it. They want to be them.
Salakia, y'all, man, for going off a little bit, man. We back at it.
We do that sometimes.
Oh, my bad.
Well, we do that sometimes.
We do it all the time.
You know what I mean? We do that sometimes. We complaining. You know what I mean? Because we not actually satisfied with the way that the turn of the world has went. So yeah, every once in a while we do complain. But dang, man, you know, oppression makes a wise man mad. He said, but it would even get worse today in the Middle East and North Africa and other Asian albinos and their mulattoes have colluded to deny local black knowledge of their history. As a result, when the albino rulers or the Edomite rulers tell them that their presence in those lands is a result of them brought there as slaves, the more intelligent can only mumble, it ain't so. So the Europeans, in other words, the Negroes that was in Europe, not all of them brothers was brought there during the transatlantic slave trade. A lot of them brothers was already there.
Wait, what you saying? What you mean by that?
They were there during the Romans.
That's facts. They was running the Byzantine Empire.
Right.
Yeah, but until how long? Until we went into slavery?
No, all of it still till today.
So it's some niggas.
That's why, hey, Battle Axe, that explains why they say that they only bought a certain amount of slaves on that thing, because there was already a lot of black folks out there. They didn't really have to buy any.
That's right. That's right. Because this was one of the first places to abolish slavery. You know that? This was one of the first places.
No, actually, I did not know that. Did it?
Yeah, this is the first places to end slavery. They ended slavery in a European continent before they started ending slavery over here in the Americas.
Oh yeah, they started in England first, no?
Right.
Yeah, I know about
they
that. They stopped it in
Mexico.
Mexico. They stopped it in Mexico too.
This is the first place they ended the Inquisitions too. Was in Europe. The European Inquisitions or the Roman Inquisitions. That was done in Rome. That was done in Europe first.
Facts.
Then it was the Spanish Inquisitions.
And
then after the Spanish Inquisitions, it turned into the American Inquisitions.
Yeah.
That today is called the Klansmen.
Yeah, the Roman Inquisition was called the Holy Inquisition. It was called the Holy Inquisition.
Right.
The set apart people, man.
Right, the Holy Inquisition. The Roman Inquisition was the Holy Inquisition. The European Inquisition.
Yep, they was inquisiting the holy.
Right. We just read that these people went on tricking on the Jews.
That's right.
That's what the target was. See, it was this disorganized event known as the People's Crusade was marked by violence against Jews as the mob made its way across Europe and by its quick defeat at the hands of the Turks. So once they brought that shit to the big dogs, that shit was squashed to the big dog whites. It was like, all right, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You guys ain't coming over here acting crazy. You can do a violent uprising on the blacks. You can't do no violent uprising on us. Because we over here doing our own thing.
Yeah, because
that's what the Turks is basically saying.
Yeah, because look, I was looking at the Patriot movie yesterday, and the white dude, he was wrecking havoc on the white Patriots. And the white boss, he like, don't sit there doing all this, because these are still our brothers. So when we're done about this dispute, we will connect and reunite with our brothers. I was like, oh shit, them motherfuckers know. They know who they are. Like that, you know how that white dude is out there, Shabbat, he tried to say he wasn't red or he wasn't Esau, he wasn't even European.
Yeah.
But everybody know where the white people coming from. Europe.
Right. They you know what I mean? They trying to desperately get out of this shit. They want to, you know, they want to be
online.
They want to win. White folks, they ain't programmed to lose in their minds. They don't accept defeat. They see themselves winning. And when they win, they rub it in your face. They'll celebrate about that shit. It's all about winning. So when they see that they losing with us, like I'm talking about the Bible is a loss to the white man. And he can't fucking get over that shit. Because he don't see lose. That shit don't make sense. Just like the binary code on the computer is made out of zeros and ones. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. But you guys heard of this stuff?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's made out of zeros and ones. The white man, they couldn't see the world going into the 2000s because of the binary code. When it was going to turn into the year 2000, they thought that there had to be a number 2 in the computer. And the number 2 doesn't fit inside of a binary code. It's just zeros and ones, and it's done through the combination. So when they say when we go into the 2000, it's going to require a number 2, which is going to cause the computer to crash because there ain't going to be a number 2. And the world is going to end. They thought this shit, man. Because the way they seeing things, man, they don't see no loss. The world got to end before they fucking lose, man.
It's because if you look around, they ain't taking no L's.
They don't take L's, man. They don't take no L's. Even when they see themselves losing on something, they'll sit there and make something called like a ceasefire. Like we not giving up. But if you don't shoot at us, we won't shoot at you. But we ain't giving up though. Like that's what they put people on, ceasefires. And you be like, damn. And then you say, you guys lost the Vietnam War. No, we didn't. We were on ceasefire. And you be like, you motherfuckers don't see yourself ever losing?
They literally deny losing that war.
Yeah, even when they lose, that's what I was just about to say. Even when they lose, they still acting like they still got some fight in them.
Yeah.
Growing up, they always said, "Nah, we didn't lose that war, but it was a hard one on us."
Hey, man, we know, or we might have lost the battle, but we haven't lost the war. Type shit.
Yeah. Right.
They be like they won because we dropped Hiroshima. They be like we dropped bombs on them.
It's like so you guys don't ever see yourself on Pearl Harbor.
Oh, they lost terribly.
See that Roman Renaissance, man. Them dudes came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, in the Renaissance, instead of them people going off and building them up somewhere or something else, no, man, they don't care. Man, they'll kill you dead quick. They killed these people dead quick.
Calm.
No hesitation. And I'm talking about even to the point to where they had to shut down some other white killers. White killers is going around killing. And then they looking at you, they like, wait a minute though, I'm gonna be standing right here with my arms crossed. All your craziness stops right here at this door.
They let the biggest go too.
I'll kill you dead. They looking like
some white boy killed like
we're gonna go take it right on back.
They let him go.
We're gonna take it back to the east. This is.
Did you hear me?
Nuh-uh. What you say?
Some white boy killed a gang of black folk and they let him go.
What?
They found a way to justify it somehow. Said
It ain't no justifying.
This nigga drove from some whole another city to another city.
A whole group
with an AR and killed a couple black people. Said he was protecting his land. I don't know, something they said. He said 17-year-old boy, you never seen it, it just happened.
No, what you talking about? He's protecting the building?
He's saying he was protecting like the area or something like his.
Yeah, no, he didn't kill nobody black. Those are, he killed some white folks.
He killed 1 or 2 white folk, but he killed like 5 black folk.
Nah, man.
Because they was out there protesting.
Oh, you talking about the dude at the Black Lives Matter thing?
Yeah, he went to the.
Oh no, he didn't kill no black people. He killed 2 white folk. They, you know, we've been to look at y'all. So check this out. We've been to the Black Lives Matter marches. Ain't no black people out there.
Yeah, ain't no black people out there.
There was no black people.
Like when you see the black people out there, if you see anybody black out there, it'd be like the real rare black person that hangs out with nothing but white people.
Yeah, we were seeing basketball people and shit like Ron Artest and stuff like that. When we
Where y'all was at? In LA or in Bakersfield?
Yeah, we went to LA. We seen Ron Artest and another black celebrity, but they was around gang of white folks.
No, but this wasn't here, nigga. This was like in like some type of black city.
Yeah, but they still though, even over there, they was you look at.
I'm not saying I know he did kill some white people. They said that they ran up on his ass and he smoked their. I'm not saying that was a lie. I'm not saying that was a lie. But I know they let him go. Whatever it was, they let his ass
they
go.
did let him go. Self-defense.
Yeah, they let their killers. They reward their killers here.
The other white boy, he killed like 10 black people in the church. They let him out on bail.
No, you talking about Dylan Roof?
One of them like 3-4
Dylan
years
Roof.
ago. He went to
The one that they gave they took him to McDonald's or something right after he killed him.
Yeah, Burger King.
Burger King. Yeah, took him right to Burger King and gave him some food. After he killed all them black folk. Took him to Burger King.
Right, that shit is all symbolism too.
That's how you know it's deeper than what we are actually thinking. It goes deeper than that.
Took him to Burger King, which is BK. Black killers.
Oh, would I?
Dang.
Yeah, man. They even got the Crips pushing BK in America, and that just means blood killer. Blood is only talking about their brotherhood.
Yeah, that's what you know what I mean. Blood's there for brotherly love over our destruction.
Yeah, so it's just so you're still saying black guy killer. And then you go and ask them. You're like, man, have you ever killed anybody? They'll tell you. You know, some of them tell you. You know, say if he's sitting in cells and shit with them, well, maybe not in the cell because just basically, man. I've asked motherfuckers they killed motherfuckers. And they told me yes. And I'll say, you say, hey, yeah, man. They'll tell you the story or something. Nigga, they're talking about killing a black man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I think like
and then boom. You be like,
look, you hear me?
They kill you like you're a black killer. You're not a.
Yeah, they got a specific sign from when they kill black people.
Even the CK one is colored killer.
Look, it's 2 lightning bolts that says they kill black folk.
For the white folks.
Whenever you go to prison or see somebody dude on the streets that's racist, if he got 2 black lightning bolts, he letting you know he smoked some black people before.
What about the blacks though?
Huh?
What about the blacks? Don't they got they marking too?
The teardrop.
Bam. So these are all nigger killers, man. Everybody is showing stripes that they done killed a nigga. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. This is fucked up, man. Excuse my language, children, but I'm gonna let you guys know. You're gonna say this one of these days. You're gonna use those exact same words, possibly too. You're gonna say, man, this is fucked up. If we're still in this kingdom, or when you study in this kingdom while we're in our kingdom, you're gonna be looking at it and you're gonna say, damn, that was some real, so that's some bad shit. That was unrealistic. How the fuck did that last longer than a summer? You tell me that this was lasting for decades? That's impossible. There had to have been obviously a spirit. Obviously. Yeah, I know we went off again. Check this out. Man, this is going in. I don't think I'm gonna tell y'all the story of El Cid. Y'all can go and read the story of El Cid yourself.
He's lazy. You're lazy.
Nah, just look how long it is, and it just says it's a story. I'm just like, man, look how long this is. That's just one page.
It looked like some intel in that thing, though.
Oh yeah, we got a gang of info on here, boy.
Oh yeah, man, there's pages of this. You just passed it. Who is that?
Right. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to cheat read real quick. Look, you can cheat read it then. I'm not lazy, but I'll show you how to cut these corners. Okay. Rodrigo Diaz. Watch this. The story of El Cid. Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar was a Castilian nobleman and military leader in Spain. He was called Cid by the Moors and the emperor champion by El Competitor, the champion by Christians. He is the national hero of Spain. Born a member in the minor nobility, El Cid at the court of the Spanish Emperor Ferdinand the Great, and served in the household of Prince Sancho de Vivar. Rose to become commander and the royal standard bearer of Castile upon Sancho's decision in 1056. De Vivar found work fighting for the Muslim rulers of Zaragoza whom he protected from the domination of Aragon and Barcelona, further bolstering his military record and reputation as a leader. The final years of Vivar's life were spent in fighting with Almoravid Berbers. He conflicted the first major defeat on them in 1094 on the plains of Corte outside.
Yeah, ain't trying to get those stupid shit.
And continued resisting them until his death. The Almoravids decisively defeated a coalition of the Castilians and Aragonese armies at the Battle of Sarajevo. This enabled them to control an empire that stretched 3,000 kilometers north to south. However, the rule of the dynasty was relatively short-lived, and the Almoravids fell at the height of the power when they failed to quell the Masmuda-led Berber tribal confederacy of Morocco, rebellion initiated by Ibn Tumar. As a result, the last king, Ishaq ibn Ali, was killed in Marrakesh in April 1147 by the Almohads, Moroccan Berber Muslim dynasty that established a Berber state in Tinmil in the Atlas Mountains circa 1120. They replaced the Almoravids as the ruling dynasty by both Morocco and Andalus Muslim state. Andalus, Mark al-Andalus Muslim state in parts of what are today Spain, Portugal, Gibraltar, and France. See, it was a pointless story. I didn't need to know that.
Yeah, they just basically put homeboy on the pedestal.
Right. This is a hero. Everybody liked this guy. He kicked ass. He said Carolingian Empire is a historical graphical term which has been used to refer to the realm of the Franks under the Carolingian dynasty in the early Middle Ages. This dynasty is seen as the founders of France and Germany, and its beginning date is based on the crowning of Charlemagne, or Charles the Great, and ends with the death of Charles the Fat. Depending on one's perspective, this empire can be seen as a later history of the Frankish realm, or the early history of France and of the Holy Roman Empire. The term refers to the coronation of Charlemagne by Pope Leo III in 800. Because Charles and his ancestors have been rulers of the Frankish realm earlier, his grandfather, Charles Martel, had essentially founded the empire during his lifetime. The coronation did not actually constitute a new empire. Most historians prefer to use the term Frankish kingdoms or Frankish realm to refer to the area covering parts of today's Germany and France from the 5th to the 9th century. Okay. So this was differentiated from just the whole country itself, as in the time that it existed. When you're talking about France, wasn't always just France. When you're talking about Germany, it wasn't always just Germany. Even though it was always called it wasn't considered the same because of the people that reigned over it from a certain period, which was from the 400s. From the 400s to the 800s. And these people, this was because those periods was called the Frankish kingdoms or the Frankish realm. And here's what those people looked like. Negroes. It's kind of funny how he got on a Spanish hat though. Charles V. Looked like he got on a sombrero. Charles V, King of France, from 1338 to 1380, returns the sword of the High Constable to Bertrand de Guesclin, 1320 to 1380, from the historian de Guesclin, after the poem by Cavalier, early 15th century vellum. That's what we're seeing right here. This must have been a prominent event to where these people had to draw a depiction of it. The Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire, 800 AD. That's this right here. All it is. It included Germany, Italy. What we see right here, pretty much Rome and all that stuff, Crete, and these islands right here, whatever, okay? He said, it is now 799 AD, and for the third time in half a century, a pope is in need of help from the Frankish kings. After being physically attacked by his enemies in the streets of Rome, their stated intention is to blind him and cut out his tongue to make him incapable of office. So these niggas showed up tripping. Pope Leo showed up on some Edomites tripping. Pope Leo III makes his way through the Alps to visit the king of the Franks, Charles I, at Paderborn. It is not known what is agreed, but Charles I travels to Rome in 800 to support the Pope. In a ceremony in St. Peter's on Christmas Day, Leo is due to anoint Charles I's son as his heir. Leo is due to anoint Charles I as his heir. But unexpectedly, it is maintained, as Charles I rises from prayer, the Pope places a crown on his head and acclaims him emperor. Charles I, Charlemagne, Charles the Great, expresses displeasure but accepts the honor. The displeasure is probably diplomatic, for the legal emperor is undoubtedly the one in Constantinople. Nevertheless, this public alliance between the Pope and the ruler of a confederation of black tribes now reflects the reality of political power in the West. And it launches the concept of the new Holy Roman Empire, which will play an important role throughout the Middle Ages. The Holy Roman Empire only becomes formally established in the next century, but it is implicit in the title adopted by Charlemagne in 800s. Charles, most serene Augustus, crowned by God, great and pacific emperor, governing the Roman Empire. Brother man, Charlemagne.
Well, what they do? Why his hands is white?
Why is his hands white?
Yeah.
It's possible that he might be wearing gloves. If he's not wearing gloves, then it would be some weird reason why I wouldn't know why his hands is pale white.
You know they be trying to change their colors. That's why I was
like,
I didn't know if that's what it was, or they didn't get finished making them their color, or what.
I don't know. They could have thought about going about it, and then was like, never mind. Look like he's wearing gloves. I don't see any finger nails on his fingertips. I'm trying to see if these are fingernails on his fingertips, but if he had fingernails, it would help.
It looked like them is fingernails.
Look like he got fingernails.
Yeah, I scooted in on it a little bit. It don't matter though. I was just trying to see something.
Nah, I don't know. Could be a whitewashing technique. With the whitewash the face that pale white, it would be completely, you know what I mean? That's pretty crazy. Charlemagne, Karlstein Castle, Czech Republic. Charlemagne Carolus Magnus, meaning Charles the Great, was king of the Franks from 768 and emperor of the Romans from 800 to his death in 814. So they made this man over Rome and over the Eastern and Western Empire of the Roman province. There's another depiction of this brother.
Oh, they got him in gold. Is that in one of their museums?
Yeah.
That's decent as fuck.
Charlemagne Shrine, commissioned by Henry IV in 1054. This is hundreds of years after the cat. These are not white dudes. These are black men.
I wonder why they still support him, even though like they find that black artifacts. Like why they still push him?
Because he was the first king for both sides. He went over there. The Pope went and got him and said, "Hey, I need you to come help me because we getting tripped on by these Negro tribes. I need to make a truce with y'all." He said, "All right, I'll make a truce with y'all." They don't know the reason why he made a truce with this guy after his tribes was attacking. But then he went over there to go and support the dude and say, "Hey, y'all, hey man, you know what I mean? We need to stop beefing. We all good. Everybody's gravy." And he was like, "All right." And then when the dude went to go make his son the heir, he put the crown on his head instead. and made him the king. Like, nigga, no, you running this. You running over here, and you running that the area over there with all your crazy ass Negro black tribes. This nigga. Nappy bearded, everything. Out there.
So who made that? Let me see that right there one more time, Battle Axe. Commissioned by Henry V. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. That would be King Henry.
Huh.
IV means fifth?
Henry the Fourth.
Oh, fourth. So like, yeah. Good catch. Y'all saw.
Illumination of Charlemagne. All right. This is a white man. I can see this.
No, look at look. I don't know, man.
Well, they might be dreads.
He gave him a brown tone. You see the brown tone?
Yeah, but what's up with the hair? Is these dreads?
Yeah, it look like dreads to me. Look at their single.
Yeah,
you can see the lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see them.
Even on the other side, they squirrely too. They like squiggly. Got a head of dreads.
Damn. Dang.
Well, you don't even like his features. Don't even look like a white man, man. I'll keep it 100.
But hey, man, I'm trying to give the white people the benefit of the doubt, man. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say, like, well, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe he's bugging. Maybe the person that put this together could be bugging. But it's
no,
like,
man, he ain't bugging.
Yeah, he's like, nah, he ain't bugging. He like, all right, man. Yeah, you white folks, that's another strike against your guys' lies, man. You guys.
He looked like one of them light-skinned Negroes.
Yeah.
This looks like this looks just like the nigga that when I was in juvenile prison, he kept trying to convert me to Islam. Showing up to my cell with, I'm talking about, he had an unlimited amount of books, man. It seemed like, I'm like, man, where the hell you getting all this shit from? Every time I was done with one, you done with that book? I'm like, yeah, I'm almost done. I got like 12 more pages. To come back like 10 minutes later with another book. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, this dude is literally, man, trying to convert me into Islam. Well, look just like him. Showing up to your cell every day. Talking about you need to convert. You should convert. Man, that's some dope shit you just said. That's why you should convert. Illumination of Charlemagne enthroned 742, 814 AD from Pontifical.
So he was ruling before that dude above us.
No, is this wait? Is
No,
that the
this
same
is-
dude?
Yeah, this is homeboy.
Okay, I'm like, it said he was in 1814 or something, 814 or something. Something like
You
that.
know,
Well, that right there was commissioned by Henry IV in 1054. That gold statue.
right? But yeah, homeboy was rocking at this time right here.
Yeah, you know, and then I gotta say this, you know what I mean, that would be another reason why the Most High allowed, you know what I mean, these albinos, quote unquote, to come through and defeat us, because Negroes was making graven images, man.
Right. Ended up worshiping the cat 2 years later.
Yeah.
200 years later, started doing weird stuff. And that probably wasn't the end. He probably meant well. He probably was like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? The dude was dope. Look, you know what I mean? It's, a 3D image of the cat right here. And
Most
probably
y'all
left it at
jealous,
that.
man.
Probably left it at that, but you don't know. It probably went to somewhere else after that. Next crowd after this was like, man, King Henry the Fourth talking about, man, this was the dopest cat. That's why he did that. I'm about to pray to him. He gonna help us.
Come.
You know, I'm trying to get some people the benefit of the doubt.
Second
Because I know that-
commandment, man. Second
Look,
commandment is don't make any graven images, man. in the likeness of anything that the Most High made in heaven, on earth, or in the sea.
Correct, man. And I see that. I get it. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right. But this, 400 years still goes by from this date.
Man.
So these people still rocking. So I'm not sure where this is at. You see how they're not showing us where it's at, so we can actually even see how big it is or what's really going on.
Yeah.
I could just see it. I'm like, okay, it's there. And then the angels, they got little Negro angels in the background, right, standing right.
That's what I was just gonna say. I see little Negro people in the back.
That's all I can see.
I see the matted curls.
Yeah, like, come on, man. White folks' hair don't do this. This is how my hair looks like when I come out the shower. After I do it, take it out the braids and get into the shower and just step right out. And I won't touch it and do nothing. It just turns into that. Just like that ball on top of your head.
Yeah.
So these dudes is just making graven images of themselves.
No,
yeah, man. They were. They were making likenesses of themselves, man. Fucking up, man. These niggas was fucking up. All right, let's keep it real. The kingdom didn't last forever. Why? Probably because of things like this.
Yeah, because I kind of read something and it was like they had to keep switching king after king after king after king because they wasn't no good. Like,
in the Kings, the books of Kings and stuff like that.
I don't know where I read it at, but I remember it.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
It could have been y'all reading it to me.
Stuff like that.
Yep. I think like after Samson and them, like they said, well, no more great kings. Like they didn't reign long at all. One reigned 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years, 19 years. Like that stuff like that. It was just back and forth.
Damn. Look, it's like from Pontifical Missile something. So this is another homeboy. Look at that. Look, if white history was truthful, this fake would not be necessary.
Right, they wouldn't have to change this nigga to the white man. Oh, well, you see the fake coin of Charlemagne? I didn't know that they did that.
Yeah.
That looked completely different from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, huh? Listen, the Franks and the Byzantine War. Charlemagne and the Byzantine Empire, Nicephorus I waged war on both land and sea for control of Venetia and the Dalmatian coast, modern day Italy, Slovenia, and Croatia. So this group of Negroes, Christians, right here, we know these Negroes, right? And then these Franks, another set of Negroes, tribal Negroes showing up tripping. Ganged up on Edomites. The war progressed well for the Franks. Additionally, beginning in 809, Nicephorus was distracted by a new war with the Bulgars. Therefore, the Byzantine began negotiations with the Franks, and peace was agreed upon in which Charlemagne gave up most of the Dalmatian coast,
after the kids go to bed.
which he had conquered, in exchange for the Byzantine Empire recognizing him as emperor of the West. The Istrian Peninsula remained a part of the Frankish Empire. Then Charlemagne busied himself with driving the albinos back to the east. Between 802 and 812, Charlemagne fought the Saxons tribes located to the north. In the beginning of this war, Charlemagne gained his reputation as a ruthless warrior when he massacred over 4,000 Saxons. Still, the warfare with the Saxons continued on. Charlemagne fought the Saxons for 30 years. Finally, he brought Saxon to his kingdom. In 1808 through 1810, Charlemagne settled across with the Danes.
No, in 808 and 18, not 18.
Did I say 18?
Yeah.
My bad. 808 to 810, Charlemagne settled accounts with the Danes, who had given aid and asylum to the Saxon leader Widukind in the Saxon Wars. In 805 through 806, so they gave aid and asylum to the Saxon leader. Charlemagne's forces subdued the Slavic region of Bohemia, modern-day Czech Republic. Charlemagne was a ruthless warrior, but he had other achievements as well. He provided a good government for his kingdom in which he had outdoor meetings. In these meetings, that's biblical, not to mention. In these meetings, the mass could vote by shouting out their agreement or disagreement with his offered laws. He charged property taxations called tithes. Come on now. So that there would be money to pay for improvements like the 500-foot bridge up the Rhine River and the cathedral at Ravenna. He had raised education too. Let me see. This is what he built. Whitewashed images.
Yo, so that motherfucker's still standing.
Yep.
Since 800?
Yeah.
Mm.
The white folks did not build this. The Europeans, the Caucasoids, the albinos, the Edomites did not build this. Look at that.
It looks like you lost another one.
That's very intricate. All right. Where were we at? All right, right here. He said, he brought in teachers from other lands to restore schools. He even started out a school in his palace. Akin. Akin Castle. He had monks copy books in the scholarly language of Latin in order to maintain them. Charlemagne ruled for about 47 years. He provided a prosperous and stable country for his people during an era of uncertainty in Europe. He died at the age of 72, ruler of a kingdom that included what is now modern France, Switzerland, Belgium, the Netherlands, half of Italy, half of Germany, part of Austria, and the Spanish border area. It was all dominated by this Negro named Charlemagne.
With your screen off and listen
Ah,
This was some black dude that dominated him.
that dude was 25 when he started ruling. Whoa.
This guy.
Yeah. Okay. I understand it. This nigga's doing a whole lot, huh? King Henry 4.
King Henry the Fourth made that dude was like, all right, that dude is dope. He, you know what I'm saying? He set up shop. That nigga was cool. He was a writer. That nigga was putting in work. He was dope. Nigga, matter of fact, put him right here. It was like that. Make a little thing like him right there. And have some little black baby Negroes sitting right there looking over him like, got his back. That's how he did it. But he did that 200 years later. Because this dude was the beginning of something real big, which was the bridging of both sides. Basically, you get what I'm saying? That'll be like somebody today. That'll be like you going and bridging the Crips and the Bloods together because of something that you said or whatever, because you just did something. You kicked somebody else's ass. You went and kicked some other people's asses so bad that you was able to bridge. You told everybody, hey, all you Bloods and Crips now, y'all need to work together. You be all together, and I'm leading this shit. And they all just listened. 200 years down the road, people would probably make a statue about you. They were like, damn, man, that dude Yao Sop, man. That dude right there, man, not only was he kicking ass, man, that dude, he bridged the gap. Now watch this. Okay, Louis the Pious, 778, the 20th day of June through the 20th day of June, 840. Also called the Fair.
It looks like you lost another one.
So Louis the Pious or Louis the Fair and the Duke Debonair was the king of Aquitaine from 781. He was also king of the Franks and co-emperor of Louis I with his father Charlemagne from 813. So this is Charlemagne's son.
And Charlemagne is that black dude.
Yes.
All right.
As the only surviving adult son of Charlemagne and Hildegard, that must have been his mother's name, Hildegard. He became the sole ruler of the Franks after his father's death in 814, a position which he held until his death, save for the period 833 to 834, during which he was deposed. During his reign in Aquitaine, Louis the Fair was charged with the defense of the empire's southwestern frontier. He conquered Barcelona from the Muslims in 801 and asserted Frankish authority over Pamplona and the Basques south of the Pyrenees in 812. As emperor, he included his adult sons, Lothair, Pepin, and Louis, in the government and sought to establish a suitable division of the realm among them. The first decade of his reign was characterized by several tragedies and embarrassments, notably the brutal treatment of his nephew Bernard of Italy, for which Louis atoned in a public act of self-debasement. So you clowning him and treated him bad.
I'm gonna log in from the computer. I'm gonna exit out real quick.
All right. He says, in the 830s, his empire was torn by civil war between his sons, only exacerbated by Louis's attempts to include his son Charles by his second wife in the succession plans. Though his reign ended on a high note, with order largely restored to his empire, it was followed by 3 years of civil war. Charles the Bald, 823 to 877, was Holy Roman Emperor. 875 to 707 as Charles II, and King of the West Francia as Charles II. He was the youngest son of the Emperor Louis the Pious by his second wife Judith. In 875, after the death of the Emperor Louis II, son of his half-brother Lothair, Charles the Bald, supported by Pope John VIII, traveled to Italy, receiving a royal crown at Pavia and the imperial insignia of Rome on the 29th of December. Louis the German, also a candidate for the succession of Louis II, revenged himself by invading and devastating Charles' dominion, and Charles had to return hastily to Francia. After the death of Louis the German, Charles, in his turn, attempted to seize Louis's kingdom, but was decisively beaten by Andernach on the 8th of October, 876. Here's what it do look like. Fro, Israelite bonnet, round nose, full lips, high cheekbones. Charles II, the Bald, still of Holy Roman Emperor, the son of Emperor Louis the Pious. A black man. Charles the Bald, in old age, pictured from a psalter. Another black man. Another afro. Another round nose, another full lips. These are real old depictions of these dudes, man. This is crazy. Is it following the assassination of Berenger of Friuli in 924? The imperial title had lain vacant for nearly 40 years. But in 962, a pope once again he appeals to a strong Frankish ruler. The coronation of Otto I by Pope John XII in 962 marks a revival of the concept of a Christian emperor in the West. It is also the beginning of an unbroken line of Holy Roman emperors, lasting for more than 8 centuries. Otto I did not call himself Roman emperor, but his son Otto II uses the title as a clear statement of Western and papal independence from the other Christian emperor in Constantinople. So they wasn't like calling themselves the Roman emperors. That was only done for a specific reason, and that reason was just stated to distinguish themselves from Constantinople. He says Otto I the Great, November 23rd, 912 in Walhausen, and May 7th, 973 through May 7th, 973 in Mellenben, son of Henry I the Fowler, and Matilda of Regelheim, was Duke of Saxony, King of Germany, King of Italy, and the first of the Germans to be called the Emperor of Italy. Edith of England, also spelled Edgith or Edgith, was the daughter of Edward the Elder, King of England. Her paternal grandparents was Alfred the Great, King of Wessex. His wife Oswald. The obvious corollary is that Edith came from a long line of Black British royalty.
Dagger.
Otto and his son and grandson, Otto II and III, regard the imperial crown as a mandate to control the papacy. They dismiss popes at their will and install replacements more to their liking, sometimes even changing their mind and repeating the process. This power, together with territories covering much of Central Europe, gives the empire and the imperial title great prestige in the late 10th century. But subservience was not the papal intention in the reinstating the Holy Roman Empire. A clash is inevitable. All right. Well, that concludes for what we're going to be doing for round one. We're going to continue this off on a part 2 in the near future, possibly tomorrow. Might be done without beats, but it still will be done. And so what we covered is with so far, we've seen that there was this brother. What really stood out to me today was that brother Charlemagne. That brother was like a year 800
without Wi-Fi
type Maccabees.
uninterrupted.
And that brother went over there and was putting the smack down, and he was a brother. And he ended up growing out the dreads and reigning, and he put a lot of stuff together, man, and turned the blacks into a force to be reckoned with, man. That was some dope stuff, man. And these were all black people, and we and the early church fathers. You know, we have Pope Clement. That brother was sold up by Saint Peter himself. That brother was rocking with him. We covered a lot of good information today, man. We did 3 hours, but
we also covered. Don't forget that Jerusalem being destroyed in the 2nd century.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
No, the 11th century.
Malak ain't gonna let that slide.
No.
Like, why is it being destroyed in the 11th century? I thought it was already destroyed in the 1st century.
Come on now.
Dang. Oh. We over here unraveling a lot of mysteries.
Yeah, we over there shaking up some bones, man.
That's real.
Digging up these bones and shaking them down, man. Like putting them together like, hold on, man. This is a body.
That's right. This is a body, man. This is the real edification, man. All praises to the Most High, man. And you know what I'm saying? We got to give thanks to the Father, and we got to give thanks to Christ for petitioning to the Father for Him to give us that Holy Spirit to find out about all these things, learning all the things.
Time.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, I'm done. Shabbat. Have a wonderful Shabbat, man. Hope everybody get edified. Maybe you take notes, run this back. You know, if you want to go ahead and check it out for yourself. You saw where we had it at, where we went on. It was at Real History. www.com. That's where we was just now getting that all from, and we getting this real history. Over here, One Nation Set Apart, man. Whoa! Now we leaving off, and the next one is gonna be starting off going to be Meanwhile in Iberia.
Come
You
on
know
now.
what I'm saying? You know where Iberia is at, right?
Yeah, the Iberian Peninsula, the Middle
Right.
East,
Huh?
the quote unquote Middle East.
No, I thought the Iberian Peninsula was over there by Spain.
Yeah, but you know it encompasses, you know what I mean, where they got that what's it called, man? The Israel.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why I said the Middle East.
Right. All right. Well, check it out. We're gonna cover that. And man, it's dope. That's gonna be one for the people. Everybody's gonna be looking and being like, oh, so the blacks, these Negroes over here.
Oh, Slovakia. No, Slovakia, man. It's Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal and stuff. Slovakia.
Right.
Like that's my bad.
Well, hey man, you know what I'm saying? We was gonna get it all ironed out. But man, it's some stuff going on here. So yeah, man, it's gonna go down. But just so we don't get viewer lag, 3 hours, man, that's it right there. With that being said, man, Kal Halal Ba, all praise to the Most High God, through His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, man. Y'all brothers need to go ahead and stop looking for that millennial reign, man. We gonna get this eternal kingdom going now. That's what's about to happen. Satan is about to be cast into the lake of fire, my people. We're at that point. Let's get it.
Come on. Kal Halal Ha-Ba, Ba Hashem, Ba Hashem, Yahushua Mashiach, Ba Hashem, Wawakadash, Shalom. All praises to the Father, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Peace.
But that's the whole tragic point, my friends. What? Snakes in the grass blocking the way. Snakes in the grass blocking the way. Snakes in the grass blocking the way. Judgment's coming, it's time for your pay. Judgment is coming, it's time for your pay.
Find the word. Psalms 94. O Lord God, to whom vengeance belongeth. O God, to whom vengeance belongeth. Show thyself. Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, and render a reward to the proud.
Y'all better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. Better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. A time to fast, a time to eat. Yeah. A time to sow, a time to reap. Give me that. Yeah. A time for woe, a time for peace. Come on. His timing's great, his time is deep. Oh God, he ain't nothing to play with. Catch him on the throne, Afro with the A-list. Why would I his sin and break his commands on some lame-ish? But he gon' send his sword and he coming to slay-ish. That's next level. Go ahead and jump off the edge. You dead devil, you on the highway to hell. Foot smashing the gas pedal. A time for fishermen. We tried to fishermen. We let the wicked win. Now we in this predicament. Lots of murder, hunger, poverty. Evil is running rampant. Church leaders claim to follow, but munching on ham sandwiches. Seeing I cannot stand it. I'm hollering out, damn it. Excuse me, I said, damn it. I can't take spiritual famine. Now there's hunt season, the blades out. Sun's gone, no shade out. Nations warring everywhere. Seeming prophecy's been played out. Prophesying to the wind. Righteousness getting laid out. The highest calling back the rim and just seek his face and pray now. Y'all better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. Better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. A time to fast, a time to eat. A time to sow, a time to reap. A time for woe, a time for peace. Come on. His timing's great, his time is deep. Y'all better stop playing with our God. Cut it out. When Yasha touched down, every nation gon' sob. Cause it was his kingdom that they robbed. Ran the Father's peculiar treasure through the mud and spread them all abroad. Paul warned not to boast against the natural branch. Hellfire is more than just a blanch. Grace was your grant upon his return. All sin is getting lanced. You down like plants. All wickedness I can't stand. Put them on a handstand. America's on this last stand. The higher ups can't stand. We back eating up falsehood like Pac-Man. Got the truth up in the back, man. Stating all these facts and you can't take it back. Y'all better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. Better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. A time to fast, a time to eat. A time to sow, a time to reap. Give me that, give me that. A time for woe, a time for peace. Come on. His timing's great, his time is deep. Y'all better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God. Better stop playing with our God. Better stop playing with our God, our God, our God.
Khan, blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. Amen.